Hey there, friends, and welcome to the very first episode of English Fluency Podcast. I'm Natasha, so excited to finally be here with you.
And I'm Tony. And honestly, Natasha, can you believe this is actually happening? Our first episode.
I know, right? We've been dreaming about this for months, and it's finally real. If you're listening in for the first time, welcome. We're two English instructors who've walked this journey, and now we're here to walk it with you.
That's right. And this isn't just another English lesson. We're sharing stories, real struggles, weird mistakes, and those magical moments when things finally click.
Speaking of magical moments, today we're starting with your story, Tony. From being afraid to say even hello to now teaching English with so much confidence. It's a journey worth hearing.
Oh, yes. My terrifying first hello. Let's just say there were a lot of awkward moments before I found my voice.
And that's exactly why we're doing this, because learning English is never perfect, but it's always powerful.
So, grab a cup of tea, relax, and come hang out with us. This is episode 1 of English Fluency Podcast, How It All Began.
All right, Tony, let's take it back, way back. Do you remember the very first time you tried speaking English?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember it painfully well. It was just one word. Hello. And yet, it felt like climbing Everest. My throat went dry. My heart was racing. I must have looked like I was about to pass out.
Oh, Tony, you? Afraid of saying hello? That's hard to imagine now.
It's true. I used to panic whenever someone spoke to me in English. I'd freeze, my brain would go blank, and then I'd say something weird or just not awkwardly. But deep down, I wanted to speak. I just didn't know how to start.
And yet, here you are now, chatting, telling stories, cracking jokes, and helping learners all over the world. What happened? What changed?
Honestly, I let go of the idea of being perfect. I stopped waiting until I felt ready. I just started trying. I practiced every day, listened to podcasts, copied dialogues from my favorite TV shows, talked to myself in the mirror, even argued with myself sometimes.
I can totally picture that. But you know what? That's exactly what progress looks like. Real progress happens when fear fades, even just a little. Do you remember your first full conversation in English?
Oh, yes. It was in this tiny bakery near my school. I wanted to say, I'll have a cheese sandwich, but I panicked and said, I'll have the cheesy sand.
No, the cheesy sand, Tony.
Yup. The woman behind the counter just blinked at me like, did he really just say that? But she smiled and gently said, you mean sandwich? And I nodded, blushing like a tomato.
But see, that's what I love. You did it. You tried. You didn't walk out. You didn't give up.
Actually, I went back the next day and the next. That bakery became my little English battlefield. I kept ordering new things, asking questions. I think the staff eventually caught on and started helping me.
That's such a clever way to learn, turning real life into practice. Did you do anything else like that?
Oh, yeah. I changed my phone language to English, labeled everything in my house. My mirror said mirror, my door said door, even my toothbrush had a little note. Toothbrush, used every morning.
I love that. You weren't just studying English, you were living it.
That was the turning point. The moment I stopped seeing English as just a subject and started seeing it as a part of my daily life.
Isn't it funny? The moment we accept that learning is messy, that's when we actually start moving forward.
Exactly. I had to give myself permission to sound awkward, to make mistakes. Like the time I told someone I was pregnant with ideas.
Wait, what? Pregnant with ideas?
Yep. I meant to say, I'm full of ideas. But in my native language, the phrase directly translates to pregnant with ideas. Let's just say the guy looked very concerned.
That is gold. I'm totally stealing that one.
Hey, I've got a whole collection of weird translations, but every mistake taught me something. Each one pushed me one step closer to fluency.
Tony, you speak with so much confidence now, so naturally. I'm honestly really proud of how far you've come.
Thanks, Natasha. That means a lot. I still have more to learn, of course, but now I enjoy the process. I'm not scared anymore. I don't feel lost.
That's the beauty of it. You're not just learning a language anymore. You're building bridges with it.
Exactly. English isn't just a tool, it's how I found my voice.
You know, Tony, hearing all that makes it sound like your journey was this beautiful upward ride. But I'm guessing it wasn't always that smooth.
Oh, not even close. There were so many moments when I felt completely stuck. I wanted to throw my notebooks out the window more times than I can count.
I'm sure a lot of listeners can relate to that feeling. But what made you feel that way? What made it so hard sometimes?
I'd study for hours, repeat words, rewatch lessons, and still, I'd mess up basic things. I remember once, I was at a small gathering trying to say kitchen, and I said chicken instead. And of course, everyone burst out laughing.
Ouch. That must have felt so discouraging.
Yeah, I laughed with them, but inside, I felt crushed. I thought, maybe I'm just not smart enough for this.
Tony, so many learners feel that way. But the truth is, language learning isn't about being smart. It's about showing up, being consistent, and brave enough to keep going even when it's hard.
That's what I had to learn the hard way. At first, I thought fluency would just happen. Like one day I'd wake up and magically be fluent. But it's not like flipping a switch. It's like planting seeds. Some days, nothing happens. Other days, a tiny green leaf shows up, just enough to give you hope.
That's such a beautiful way to put it. Do you remember one of those first tiny green leaves?
Yeah, I do. It was the first time I ordered food over the phone and didn't freeze. It was just a pizza, but I managed to ask for toppings, give my address, and finish the call without panicking. And after I hung up, I whispered to myself, I did it.
That's a huge moment. Those little wins are where confidence really grows.
Absolutely. After that, I started keeping a notebook, a victory journal, I called it. I wrote down every single win, big or small, like the first time I understood a full sentence in a movie or used a new word in a text message.
I love that. Celebrating those moments makes the journey feel less overwhelming and more alive.
It really does. And you know what else changed everything?
What?
When I stopped comparing myself to others.
That one's tough. We've all been there.
Yeah. I used to scroll through YouTube, watching fluent speakers and thinking, why can't I sound like that? I felt small. But then I realized I was comparing my chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. It wasn't fair to me.
That's so true. We never see the hours they spent practicing or the mistakes they made behind the scenes.
Exactly. So I started saying to myself, this is your journey. Go at your pace. And that changed everything.
And look at you now, speaking, teaching, inspiring others. You've written your own beautiful story, one page at a time.
Thanks, Natasha. That really means a lot coming from you. You've always made me feel seen, even when I felt invisible in this language.
That's because I do see you. I see the courage, the effort, the setbacks, and the strength it took to keep going.
That means everything. Because there were days I felt like no one really heard me. I'd speak, but it felt like my words just got lost.
But not anymore. Now people hear you, they understand you, and more importantly, you understand yourself in English.
Yeah. And for the first time in my life, I believe I can actually do this.
You are doing it, Tony, and you're doing it beautifully. You know, Tony, hearing you say, "I believe I can do this," that hits me right in the heart. But I'm curious, when did that belief first start to show up in real life? Like, do you remember your first back and forth conversation with a native speaker?
Oh, yes. I'll never forget it. I was at a train station, and this American tourist came up to me. He asked, "Hey, is the platform on the left or the right?" And I just froze. Total blank.
Oh no. What did you do?
I panicked and pointed in the wrong direction. He started walking off, and then it hit me. I'd sent him the wrong way. So I ran after him shouting, "No, other side, other side." I was out of breath, waving my arms, and instead of getting annoyed, he laughed and said, "Hey, your English is good, man."
Oh, that's actually really sweet. He complimented you.
Yeah, and in that moment, something shifted. I realized people weren't judging me as harshly as I judged myself. He didn't care about my grammar. He cared that I tried.
That's such a powerful realization. Most people just want connection, not perfection.
Exactly. After that moment, I started speaking more. Still nervous, still awkward, but I kept showing up. I forced myself to start conversations, even if it meant sweaty palms and weird pauses.
Oh, I know those sweaty palms. What about job interviews? Did you ever have to do one in English?
Oh, yes. I had one where I totally blanked on the word efficient. So instead, I said, "I work very fast and not messy."
Fast and not messy? Tony, that's amazing. And honestly, that's not wrong.
The interviewer actually smiled too. And later, she told me she appreciated how I kept trying, even when I got stuck. That stuck with me. It showed me that confidence isn't about never struggling, it's about being willing to keep going when you struggle.
That's so true. Confidence grows not in the perfect sentences, but in the imperfect conversations we dare to have.
Exactly. Every time I made a mistake, I told myself, "You got through this before, you'll get through it again."
That mindset, that's what makes the difference. Because eventually, the fear shrinks, doesn't it?
It really does. The words come quicker. The silences aren't scary anymore. You stop thinking about every little error and start enjoying the exchange.
I love that. The silences aren't scary anymore. That line needs to go on a t-shirt.
Let's make it happen. But honestly, that's the best part now. I enjoy talking to strangers in English. I ask questions, I tell jokes, I even help other learners when I see them getting stuck.
You've come full circle. From the guy too scared to say hello to someone who now helps others find their voice.
That's what makes me proud. Not just that I learned English, but that I get to use it to lift others up.
Tony, your voice matters. And now you're using it to make people feel less alone in their journey.
That's why I never gave up. Deep down, I always believed that one day I'd look back and say, it was all worth it.
And that day is today. You didn't just learn a language. You transformed your entire story. You know, Tony, hearing how far you've come, from frozen hellos to full-on conversations, it makes me wonder, Do you ever stop and think about how much your life is changed because of English?
All the time. At first, I thought English was just a skill, like math or typing or history. But now, it's become part of who I am.
That's so powerful. Language doesn't just help us speak, it helps us belong.
Yes, I remember the first time I understood a joke in English, like really got it and laughed at the right time. Or when I shared a personal story and didn't need to stop and search for words. I felt like I had found a second voice, a version of me that had always been there, just waiting to be spoken into existence.
A second voice. That's so beautifully said. It's like you unlocked a new version of yourself.
Exactly. And not just in the way I talk, but in the way I walk into rooms now. I sit taller, I speak up, I don't shrink anymore.
That gives me goosebumps, Tony. So many learners don't realize that what they're really building isn't just vocabulary or grammar. They're building their sense of self.
Absolutely. That's why I've started giving back. Every Thursday, I volunteer at a small community center, helping beginners with English basics. Just once a week, but to them, it means everything.
Tony, that's incredible. You've taken your journey and turned it into someone else's hope.
I try to remember how it felt at the beginning, the fear, the shame, the constant doubt. And now I look these learners in the eye and say, I was exactly where you are. You're not alone.
That's the kind of support that changes lives. Sometimes just hearing someone say, I understand, it's everything.
Yeah. There's this one woman, Maria. She told me last week, I never thought someone like me could speak English. And I said, if I can do it, you definitely can.
And that's the truth. You're living proof, not just of progress, but of possibility.
Thank you, Natasha. You've always believed in me, even when I didn't.
Of course I did. I saw your heart before I heard your words. And now I hear both, loud and clear.
That means the world. You know, sometimes people forget learning a language isn't just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about dignity.
Yes, it's about expressing your dreams, defending yourself, connecting, being seen.
That's what English gave me. Not just new words, but a new way to show the world who I am.
And now you're passing that gift on. You've gone from learner to mentor to friend to bridge builder.
I never imagined I'd become that, but I'm so glad I did. It made every awkward sentence, every misstep, every late night doubt worth it.
Tony, hearing you speak just now about dignity, identity, and passing the torch, it's honestly so moving. And it makes me wonder, if you could go back in time, back to that nervous, unsure version of yourself, what would you say to him?
I think I'd say it's okay to be scared, but don't stop. You're going to surprise yourself, and maybe you're stronger than you think.
That gave me chills because sometimes we forget just how far we've come when we're always looking at how far we still want to go.
Exactly. But when I pause and really look back at all the nights I stayed up feeling lost, all the baby steps no one else saw, I feel proud. Not just because I speak English now, but because I didn't give up.
You should feel proud. Those quiet battles, the ones no one claps for, they're the ones that shape us most.
Yeah, there were nights I'd cry after studying, feeling like I was chasing something impossible. But now, now I smile. I thank that scared, stubborn version of me. He kept going.
And because he did, you're here, speaking clearly, sharing openly, inspiring others. You earned this.
Thank you, Natasha. You've been such a big part of it. always reminding me that mistakes aren't failure. They're stepping stones.
Because they are. Every mispronounced word, every awkward pause led you right here to this conversation.
Yeah, and now when I look at other learners, I don't see struggle. I see hope because I know what's possible.
And that's the greatest gift we can offer, to show others what's possible.
Tony, I feel like today's episode has been such an emotional ride. We laughed, we got real. I might have even teared up a little. But before we wrap up this beautiful first episode, I have to ask, for all the learners listening right now who might be where you once were, what would you tell them? What helped you move from fear to fluency?
Oof, big question. But you know what? I've got a few golden tricks up my sleeve. Things that actually worked for me. They made the journey less scary and even fun.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. Tony's top tips for real English progress. What's number 1?
All right, first tip. Watch TED Talks, but not like you're watching YouTube for fun. Watch them like you're studying for the coolest test ever. Here's what I did. I picked short talks, 10 minutes max, turned on English subtitles, paused every few sentences, repeated lines out loud, wrote down powerful phrases or transitions, and I asked myself, can I use this in real life? I wasn't just copying, they were like my pronunciation coaches and speaking models. One line I still remember. We don't learn by being told. We learn by doing. I've used that phrase in so many conversations.
That's genius. So TED Talks weren't just background noise, they were active practice.
Exactly. And bonus, you learn cool stuff about the world while learning English.
Ooh, that's a great one. What's tip number 2?
Honestly, ChatGPT. Total game changer. I used it like my personal English buddy. No judgment, no pressure. I'd say stuff like, let's have a conversation. You be a tourist, I'll be the local. Or pretend you're interviewing me for a job. Ask me questions. And then I'd ask it, was that sentence natural? How's my grammar? Can you make this sound smoother? It was real-time feedback without anyone laughing at me or correcting me harshly.
That's amazing. It's like having a patient coach in your pocket.
Exactly. I even used voice input, spoke out loud, then asked, how was my pronunciation? It helped me fix tricky sounds on the spot.
All right, hit us with tip number 3.
Use your boring time to level up. Walking to school, cleaning your room, waiting in line, putting your earbuds and listen in English. I downloaded podcasts, stories, YouTube audio. At first, I understood maybe 50%, but the more I listened, the more my brain tuned in. I started recognizing phrases, the rhythm of English. It became natural background learning.
That's so smart. You don't need hours, you just need to plug English into your day.
Exactly. Make your phone your fluency machine.
Okay, what's next?
This one's simple but super effective. Keep a one-word-a-day notebook. Just one word, that's it. Each day I'd write the word, its meaning, a sample sentence, and then say it out loud like 10 times. For example, awkward. My first English presentation was awkward, but I did it. The repetition helped me own the word, not just memorize it.
I love that. It feels manageable. One word a day, but over time, that's a huge vocabulary boost.
Exactly, and I didn't forget them because I used them, repeated them. They became my words.
Give us another one. What else helped?
Surround yourself with real English every time you touch your phone. I followed content creators who spoke the way people actually talk. On YouTube, Instagram, podcasts, not textbook stuff, real conversations. And hey, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're already doing it.
Shameless plug. But seriously, yes, every bit of exposure counts.
Every scroll can be a study moment if you follow the right people.
Okay, final tip. What's the big one?
Stop being afraid of mistakes. I used to freeze because I didn't want to sound wrong. But guess what? Every awkward sentence taught me more than a grammar book ever could. So speak up, mess up, laugh at yourself, and keep going.
Because fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up again and again.
Exactly. The real magic is in messy progress.
Tony, I'm so glad we ended on this note because your tips are more than just advice. They're a blueprint for anyone out there who's feeling stuck.
Thanks, Natasha. And honestly, if someone like me, who once couldn't say hello without choking, can now teach and joke in English, then anyone can.
So, to our listeners, wherever you are in your journey, keep going. Watch, listen, speak, laugh. Take those brave, tiny steps every day.
And hey, if this helped you, be sure to like, comment, or share it with another learner. You're not alone in this. We're all learning together.